Guys, it's Jalisa Banks with Mind My Mind podcast, where the tea is hot, the cookies are fresh, and you never know what I'm gonna say. This is a special episode. I did already have one filmed, but to be honest, I'm gonna try to get this down to about 20 minutes or less because I do spend a lot of time garnering studio space, and I don't really want to waste my resources by doing these special videos in between. But I do feel like there is some clearing up that I want to do personally and that I feel like I need to do to move forward from this chapter in my life. First of all, hi, it is May of 2024. I started my podcast May of 2023. The reason at that time was because I was in the middle of about to finalize my divorce. And I realized that my ex-husband was still attached to my toxic ex-religious community, and not even a way that I was even aware of until he came out publicly with his relationship in December of 2023. But I just knew that his spirit, his soul, his heart, and his life was still attached to that church. And so at the time, I had started having my own revelations and realizations about the things that went on behind closed doors. And if you've watched my episode, I think it's 3, when I did the interview with Kaylin Eustace, we talk about and we break down those realizations that I had coming to terms with, that this community was not safe and my intuition was telling me what was right the whole time. I felt like at the time the only way that I could get my ex-husband to come forward and tell the truth was to expose the secrets behind the community, because as a whole, then maybe he would come forward, right? That did not happen. I started kind of going in on them, I would say March of 23, and it started with me posting that I had been blocked from the church pages, the church, the pastor, and then the church therapist, which, if you guys remember, she was my best friend for the last 6 months that I was in Minnesota. And the reason why I felt so hurt and so personally hurt by that was because she lied to me. We were friends for 6 solid months, and she was having an affair with the pastor of our church, the head pastor of our church. And so the fact that this community still tries to make it seem like I have no reason to be frustrated or hurt behind having actual friends who deceived me, not only from being my friend, but from a spiritual standpoint. So you're a therapist in the church, and you're also my best friend, but you're also sleeping with my pastor and my spiritual father behind my back. And I'm supposed to go, oh, okay, that's cool. Also, my ex-husband knew about this affair. I can't confirm the whole time, but he knew about the affair for a while, so much so that he justified his actions with knowing that the pastor was having a full-blown affair. So if the pastor is doing it, I can go pay for sex, I can go have girlfriends, I can do whatever I want behind the scenes, but still go to church and pretend like I'm this holy roller, this church guy who follows what the Bible says. Let me just start with, that's a farce, okay? I'm a Christian. I love God. I love Jesus. Regardless of what people who don't really know me choose to try to think and say about me, I am still a Christian. I hate the way Christians make Christianity look, specifically the Christians at my old community. Now, my ex-husband, I cannot say for a fact if he does or does not love Jesus, but he does not follow the Bible. He follows his own set of rules and principles, but then tries to pretend like he follows the Bible, pretend like he loves God. He might love God. He doesn't love himself, and that's always been the problem. So now we're in this situation where it's a year after I started my podcast, and I started it to tell my story, to tell my truth. Nothing I've ever said has been a lie, a stretch, a farce, a speculation. It's all been facts. If I have speculations, I don't speak on them. I might try to pull out fillers, but I don't say that something happened unless it actually happened, I have receipts, or it happened to me. These things that I've been talking about have actually happened. First of all, I don't have time, energy, space to make up stories about my ex-husband. The fact that him and his girlfriend's twin sister, his ex-girlfriend's twin sister, keep saying something about us being over or that I haven't moved on, I don't know how many times I have to remind him or them that, like, not only did I leave, like, me as a person, my body, my anatomy, my physiology would no longer allow me to stay with him. I am so repulsed by him that I made a joke on my last podcast episode and said, if somebody paid me money, I'd take the check, but then I'd probably have to give it back because I'd get in the room with him and I'd vomit. And that's not a stretch. The levels of disgustingness and grossness and repulsiveness happened after I left and I started finding out the truth. I didn't start finding out the actual truth. I didn't find out that he was paying for sex for our whole marriage until December of last year. That's when he told me the truth. So I had gone 15 years plus, and I finally found out, while my body was being shared with you, bodily fluids and all of that, everything, he was paying for sex and having sex with however many women whenever he chose to. So this perception of healing and not being healed and not moving on can be twisted and turned whichever way anyone chooses to in any situation. But in this situation, I have not only moved on in my mind and my body and my spirit, but my physiology, like my insides, wouldn't allow me to be in a situation or a relationship or anything with this person anymore, because there will never ever be trust again. The thing about my ex-husband is that he will tell so many lies. And not only will he tell lies, but he tells so many lies that he believes the lie. So currently we're in the situation of, I started my podcast last year and it's just now caught up to his ex-girlfriend. I don't know what to call her. The girl that he was seeing in December, November, October, September of 2021 has still been actively seeing him, having a relationship with him, having intercourse with him, sending him money. And he has been telling her that he's been single. And then he's also been dating this girl at the church and telling her that he wants to start a family with her, that he wants to marry her. The thing about him is he loves to live a double life. He loves to live a triple life. He loves to live a quadruple life, but he will never live an honest life. The girl that reached out to me because she saw my podcast did send me evidence that he had been cheating on his girlfriend and then lying about their relationship. So that information did get put out. I mean, what am I going to do with that? Sit on it? When I had our last session with our therapist said, "Jaleesa, you sound like you're worried about the next girl." And I said, that's my only concern. I don't want him anymore. I have to co-parent with him, unfortunately, but he's going to continue the same cycle onto the next person. And then we have another girl in the dust. You guys, he told me tonight that I ruined his relationship. And if that doesn't give any kind of insight as to where his head is and his accountability is, there is no accountability and there is no truth with him or with his mother or with his father. He is like the two worst DNAs from his mom and his dad. They met and they had a baby. He has no accountability. He cannot tell the truth. I don't know if he knows what the truth is. I don't know if he knows the definition of the truth, but I know that he knows what manipulation and lies are. And he will lie and lie and lie and lie and lie until he can get whatever he wants. And that's what he does. And usually it's women or sex or money. I'm not sure what else his new game is, whatever he does or whatever he tries to get from people. But I see through it all and he hates it. And he's always going to make it seem like I'm stuck on something, or no, the fact is that there's probably only one person in this whole universe who really knows exactly how he is, and that's me, and he hates it. And that's not my fault. It is my fault because I stayed too long, but it will always be him against me, the truth versus the lies, the speculation versus reality. The truth is I moved on before I even moved on. The truth is that I'm in such a healthy relationship that whenever I found out all this stuff about my ex, more recently, I was like cheating is a choice. Like being a decent person is a choice, and actually not cheating is not that hard, and telling the truth is not hard at all. So everything that he does at this age of 39 is a choice that he chooses to make. The receipts with Serenity, we know that the pastor and the therapist are now in a relationship. They've shared pictures together from his daughter's wedding. They're going to basketball games together. She's still teaching marriage classes. He's still preaching on stage. These guys are gross. The most other recent evidence that came out from Serenity is a voice memo from one of the praise and worship leaders. If you haven't heard it, it's on Nikki and Monica's podcast. They shared it on the last episode. It's on my TikTok, and it's also on my Money My Mind podcast Instagram page. But the level of demons that we heard in that voice memo, the level of evil that is in and throughout the leadership of that church, and they continue to condone this type of behavior. The reason why the guy left the voice memo from the church is because the girl who he left the voice memo to had uncovered that her partner had been seeing a happy ending masseuse, right? You can only see one of those masseuses in this particular situation if you have a referral. So she found out that her partner got a referral from the guy who left her the voice memo, and she started to try to get the truth from him, and he lost his shit, of course, because that's what they do, right? When they're guilty, they lose their shit. He got the referral from another guy, another rich guy at the church who has a wife and kids, who also sees happy ending prostitutes and sits courtside with his wife. That rich guy got the referral from Brendan Banks. And I know this to be a fact because I know he saw him happy ending prostitutes. I can give you the name of one. Her name is Trishelle Pimble. You want to Google her, you want to message her and ask her how he could not pay her after she started blackmailing him. So he started dropping food off at her house. That church has a string of men on leadership who are paying for sex, who are publicly saying that they love their wives and their families and they're men of God. It's all a facade. And the people that see through it, they can't stand them, so they'll make up any narrative to make it seem like they're stuck. If you look at anybody who's left the church, first of all, not only do they look good, they look fantastic, they look healthy, they're glowing, they're happy, they're living in their truth. I've seen his ex right-hand man that left the church. He's never looked more himself. He's never looked more authentic. All of us who have moved on, Nikki and Monica, they freaking have transformed themselves. When they were at Serenity, when they were at Sacred Ventures, they looked horrible. Like, they looked like they weren't happy to be there at all. None of us did, actually. If you can look at pictures of people from before and then after the transformation and finding out who they were when they weren't being controlled by a weird manipulative narcissist who can't tell the truth either, it's a night and day difference. There is no argument that community is toxic. They've lost 99% of the community at this point. It's about 6 people standing on strong because they're so deep in the filth now that where do they go? Where do you go when you stood behind this man for so long, who's continuing to destroy people, families, lives, and he's all you got? And he's talking shit to you, telling what he could or could not do to you. He tells people how he could destroy them, how he can make them or break them, how he controls this and he controls that. We know. And I'm tired of it being I'm tired of it being made to seem like these people who are telling their truth are unstable. First of all, let's be real, we're all unstable. We all need to be in therapy. We all need to probably be medicated on some level. I'm bipolar. Somebody else could be an alcoholic. Somebody else could be relapsed. It doesn't matter what our diagnosis is, or even if we're drinking. The truth is the truth, and the voice memo is the voice memo. Brendan's picture, videos of him sending himself explicitly to the other girl is proof. It's all proof. It's all facts. It's all screenshots. It's all evidence. There's nothing that can be disputed besides lip service. I don't care anymore. The people that know me, the people that love me, the people that matter, they know the truth. The people that have any sense, have any common sense, they know the truth. This is so I can get my piece out. Now, as far as my whole community goes, I don't have any attachment to it anymore. My ex and his girlfriend are no longer together. If she takes him back, I mean, good luck to her, because once he lies to you once and you take him back, he's just going to keep lying to you. There's no way he's ever going to not be a cheater anymore. At this point, like, this girl is beautiful. This girl is beautiful, and I've never said anything about her physical appearance or even her as a person besides that she was lame for co-signing with him being a absent and weird father and lying about child support payments and stuff like that. But for him to take genuine people, me, her, and another girl, and the fact that he said tonight that I ruined his relationship, and I said, which one? Have you forgot about the other girl? You do that, huh? You cater to the one that means the most or the one that's on the most public display, but then the other person gets thrown to the side. This is now 2 times in almost 3 years that he has tossed this girl to the side. And Truth is the truth, facts are facts, evidence is evidence, receipts are receipts. I don't have shit to prove anymore. I'm with the person that's going to make me happy for the rest of my life, who tells me the truth, who treats me well, who takes care of me, who loves my kids, who loves me, who loves my family, who's a part of my family now more than ever, who has supported me through the death of my uncle. I don't need anything as far as validation from that. When the girl sent me the screenshots, I already knew he was a freaking cheater, but that was just like, damn, bro, still? Like, still. He will never not cheat. This girl loved him for who he was, for what she knew, and he still cheated on her. Like, there's nobody who will ever be safe. Doesn't matter what you look like, how much money you make, how many kids you have, what car, like, it doesn't matter. A cheater is a cheater, a liar is a liar, and he is also not actively going to therapy. And when he was actively going to therapy, he was not working on his sex addiction or his compulsive lying problem. So if he wasn't going for those two things, please tell me what that guy is going to therapy for, to boost his ego. He's a narcissist, and I don't care anymore. It doesn't matter who believes it and who doesn't believe it. If you believe it, if you don't believe it, you'll believe it soon enough, because he will always show who he is, because he can't not show who he is, and he can't not get caught. So take him back, believe him, do whatever you want. The fact of the matter is that he's a toxic individual. My life, and like Nikki and Monica have just said on their last podcast, my life outside of him and that community is peaceful. It's beautiful. I have an amazing family, so much so that, like, who's sad about missing things with their in-laws? My partner, because my family is so incredible. I've got so many sides of the family who are incredible, that love me. I've got amazing, incredible friends. I am a part of a community that I love and grew up in, where, like, I'm not missing anything. I'm not. I don't care if people think that I'm this or I'm that, because the people that love me and know me don't fucking care either. Whatever narrative the community wants to spin, whatever narrative my ex wants to spin, that's on them. I didn't ruin his relationship. He ruined his relationship. I didn't ruin his life. He ruined his life. He's a 39-year-old man, very, very capable of making his own choices that he chooses every day. He chooses those choices. He calls the bitches. He texts the girls. He sends his little thing. Like, you ain't nothing you can tell me at this big age about making choices. Like, we all do. We all have to pay for the consequences of our actions, and he refuses to. It's all deflection. It's all blame. But I mean, that's about it. Like, I'm over it. Like, I've been over it. The whole point was so he wouldn't manipulate and lie to and destroy and hurt another woman, which he has now too, and that's just the two that her and I maybe know about. The guy is not even a two-woman man, to be honest. He's literally two at minimum, and then three. So find the third, maybe the fourth. He lives alone, so 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not attached to it anymore. I'm not the one having to go through and decipher lies and manipulation anymore. I still do kind of have to be honest, because I'll never know the full truth. And to be honest, I don't know if I ever want to, but he's a liar. He's a cheater. That old church, God's not in that place. I hope and pray that one day that everybody who's being manipulated and lied to, and the people that keep clapping back and saying they're not clapping back by saying that people that are coming against the church are lost and they're mad and they're jealous. There's nothing that's be mad of you. Jealous of you crusty, ashy people in Crystal, Minnesota, going to church to listen to Jeff Hill talk about himself. Do you know what I do on Sunday mornings? First of all, there's so many other better churches I could go to and not hear somebody talk about themselves and how demons and villains are coming against them, attacking them. Have you ever listened to a sermon about a pastor talking so much about people that attack him and talk about himself? Like, come on, bro, what y'all doing over there? Anyways, Sunday mornings, if I'm not enjoying a sermon from somebody who's actually preaching the word of God, I'm in the bed with the love of my life. I'm spending time with my kids. I'm not being forced to sit at Serenity to sit at Sacred Ventures for 3 services and pretend like I like it. Where's your lives at? Let me know. All you people that are still supporting SB, tell me how much of your life is your own and how much of your life is Pastor John. I'll wait, but hey, it doesn't fucking matter, because I know the truth. You can think whatever you want. They can think what they want. They can keep breaking bread with the demon and saying he's the pastor. I'm not in Minnesota anymore. That's why I left my ex. That's why I left the church. I'm gonna go do my homework. I'm tired of wasting time making these special episodes because people are disgusting.